everybody. This is Judy Carter, and welcome to this webinar on how to do a TED Talk or even a TEDx Talk. My guest today is Dolores Hirschman, and I'm so excited for the wealth of information that we're going to give you today. So let's get going and talk about how you can do a TED or a TEDx presentation. First of all, we all know about TED Talks. We get them in our emails. We watch them. They're so inspiring. So if you do a TED Talk, what happens is all of a sudden you are branded as an expert. You are going to be sent out all over the world because your message is going to go through TED, be on the TED website, and your expertise will be known by everyone. It'll drive traffic to your website, and people want you to speak. Oh my God, I have to tell you, after I did my TEDx speech, all of a sudden I'm getting calls from people who don't usually hire funny speakers, like insurance companies and banks. And all of a sudden, I'm getting calls from speaker bureaus that I never even heard of before because their clients saw my TEDx talk, and they want me to speak for them. And guess what? My speech price rose. So it's just a fabulous thing to do. And I know so many of my readers of my books, The Comedy Bible or The Message of You, put in shameless self-promotion here, okay. But what you've read my books, and many of you have amazing stories, and you've survived many things. Many of you have incredible messages, and I've been getting all these emails. How do I do a TED Talk? So I found the perfect guest for you, who's going to tell you today exactly how to apply for a TED Talk, what kind of story you need, what do you need, do you qualify? So let me introduce to you my guest for this teleseminar, and it's Dolores Hirschman. Dolores is a strategist and a coach. She's worked with entrepreneurs and professionals to help them reach their professional goals, and she gives them this clear roadmap to successful career growth. Now, she is a TEDx organizer herself. She's also a TEDx speaker coach, and she brings opportunities and a format for successful communication that benefits her clients, not just when they're speaking at a TED stage, but when pitching and communicating their ideas. And her first novel, you can get it on Amazon. It's called New Beginnings. She's originally for Argentina, so don't think that her accent is fake. She's the real deal. She lives in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. She has a husband and 4 children. Please help me welcome Dolores Hirschman. Yay, everybody. I think I can hear you through the... Hi, Dolores.
Hi, Judy. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, yeah, great. Because, I get so many, like how I got my TEDx talk was sort of accidental. Someone saw me speak, and then they suggest me one person, another person. So when people ask me, how do I apply? How do I do it? I went, I'm not sure. So I'm so glad. Now, first of all, what is the difference, Dolores, between TED and TEDx?
$1 million question. I think there's a lot of confusion out there. So TED is an organization. They have offices in New York, and they stand for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. It's been around for over 30 years, and they organize events, TED organized events around the world. They've moved their flagship event from California to Vancouver in the last couple of years, but they kind of designed a format of the format that we know of the TED Talks, the 18 minutes or less conversations. So they are an actual organization that organizes these events. TEDx, actually, it's a format that they've created, a license, if you want, that they've created for regular people like you and I to apply and be TEDx organizers. So when I organize an event, I am not employed by TED. So it's kind of a franchise. And as long as you follow the rules of engagement, the rules of the game, then you can organize these events. And, you've seen a lot of TEDx come up around the world. I don't know, there's a statistics of, I think there's 10 TEDx's a day, every day, somewhere in the world. And the opportunity is for local people to put up events for the community and by the community. So that's really the main difference.
So
Is
let me
one
ask
is organized by TED and the other one is independently organized.
So if I do a TEDx talk and it's really successful, then do I have a chance of doing a TED talk?
I always say if you want to land at TED stage, other than praying for serendipity, which happens, the TEDx path is a great path. They actually have TED organization have invested a lot of time in training us TEDx organizers in putting together our events. One example of the next coming event in Vancouver, March 2016, is that they actually have allocated a whole section. So it's the sessions are like 2 or 3 hours each and with multiple speakers. So one of those sessions is actually arranged and curated 100% by a TEDx organizer. And it happens to be the TEDx organizer who runs the biggest TEDx in the world in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I'm going to start
10,000
sucking up
people.
to you. I'm going to start sucking up to you right now because that's where you're from.
Jerry, who's someone I know, and we've been together at TEDx workshops. He has been in charge of curating a whole session. So he's pulled speakers from different TEDx's around the world, and we organizers were asked to submit our, the speakers that we've worked with, and he and his team curated a great session. So I can't wait to see that live in Vancouver in 2016.
Yes, and I have found that I have a client of mine that I'm coaching right now. Her name is Dahlia Mogahed, and she is going to be speaking in Vancouver. She's invited to a TED Talk, and I've been coaching her. And I know how to help people get their message out there because I do know if it's funny, it becomes more entertaining. Their message becomes more accessible. So Dolores, let's start with what are TEDx organizers such as yourself looking for in a speaker?
So the first thing, and it's obvious, but sometimes the basic thing is what we miss. We are looking for an idea worth sharing. A lot of people have great stories. They've survived amazing challenges, but can they extract an idea, a learning from that to share with the audience? Because the format is so short, like 18 minutes or less, you really have to be very clear on what it is that you want to share and what you want the audience to take away in order to be effective. So when we did our interviews for our event, the first question was, can you explain your idea in one sentence or, one short sentence? And we actually ended up choosing a lot of speakers that we knew had an idea, but they couldn't even express it. And part of the coaching was like removing the noise, removing the stories, removing the over explanation to get to the core of the idea. But one is an idea worth sharing.
Okay, so let me summarize. You have to have your idea worth sharing, which is your message, essentially. The message of you. You need to be able to state it in one short sentence and ask yourself then, is that idea original? And why is the idea worth sharing? Okay, so what's another thing that TEDx organizers are looking for in speakers?
So as I explained about TEDx events are organized by local people. I cannot organize an event in California because I live in Massachusetts. So a license would be applied to the community where I live and I work. So we are looking for local voices. We're looking for people in our community who are making a difference or who are doing something really cool. And so when you're looking to speak at a TEDx, my suggestion is always to start looking within your zip code, like around your area. My English sometimes is funny, so it's okay. But start looking from where you live and then expand from there. The closer you are, the closer you live and work in that community, the more chances you are to be part of that event.
Okay, and do you have to be a professional speaker in order to apply
Well, let me put it this way. As an organizer, I love non-professional speakers because they know that they don't know it all and they're ready to learn and they're eager to learn. And TEDx organizers are looking really for passion, for people who are willing to go beyond their comfort zone, to step on a stage, maybe sweating, maybe shaking, but because their passion to sharing that message is stronger than their fears.
Okay.
So by all means, no.
So you're looking for someone who is passionate about what they have to say. And even if they're fumbling or they're nervous or they're not a professional, you're going to help them, right? Get their message, get their passion across to the audience. And it's okay to sweat. That's good to know.
Yes, and if you're chosen to be in an TEDx event, most events will coach you. But you get a coach, you get someone like Judy to really help you get clear and remove that fear. And so you want to stand on that stage at the highest vibration of passion as you can find. So it's less what you say and more who you are. So that's the first thing I do as a coach is, who are you being? And then, okay, let's talk about the words. But you know that there's more that we tell before we even open our mouth.
Yes, and actually,
that is so important.
That's how we met, because I got a call from somebody who said, I got accepted to a TEDx talk, and he was a doctor, and he needed a bit coaching. And I went, oh, I have another coach who's coaching me. I said, another coach? Who's that? And it was you. And then you recommended my book to him, and so
we co-coach without knowing, and that was a great
that
experience.
Was great.
I think we both brought to him, a little bit of what he needed to be successful that day.
Right. And at the end of this webinar, everybody, we are going to give you specific information about how to find a TEDx in your neck of the woods, how to search for in the internet, and some specifics about how to apply. But before we do, let's talk about the top mistakes that people make when they're applying to speak at a TEDx. A TEDx event, because we don't, there's so many mistakes you can make. Oh my gosh. When I think of how do you sleep with the right person, Dolores? What is the right? You have to know Spanish.
Well, you have to try many frogs, right? Before you find it.
All right. So let's not get into all the mistakes I've made, because that would be awkward.
I think you and I can go for a long time.
Okay, so what do you do? Throw out a whole bunch of applications?
So here's the big thing. And again, it goes back to understanding what a TEDx event. TEDx events are locally organized by volunteers. We don't get paid to do this. So the best way to get thrown out of, disqualified right away is to bombard an event organizer with multiple applications. I had someone register to speak, and she actually had, I don't know, all her friends, she must have a very big family. We had 25 applications for this lady. To be honest, I never read the application. She got me so upset because she was clogging her system so much. Maybe she was brilliant, but she did that, and it's like, you can't do that.
So it's not like buying a lottery ticket, right? You don't buy a lot of them.
More.
Okay.
No,
all right.
More is not more.
So what's another idea? What's another thing not to do?
It's an event where you share your idea for the purpose of a positive impact in the community and in the audience. So it's not a place to sell. So if you're copying and pasting your sales pitch from, your marketing document, you're pasting into the application, that's not going to go very well.
Okay. Don't do that.
It's not.
What about cash? Can I give you hard, cold cash and say I want to do a TEDx?
I would love to do that. No, but no. The reason why TEDx has grown so much, so fast, and so well is that we organizers are stewards. Is that the word?
Yeah,
stewards
you're doing great.
of the rules, because it is a non-commercial space, and we want to keep it that way.
Okay, so then it relies really on your message and the topic, your message.
Well, let me give you one more mistake.
Oh, okay.
Because you asked me, like, can I give you money so I speak? And there was an answer. But the other question is, a speaker that would apply and then would say, okay, so will you cover my expenses, and what is your speaking fee? Right? Again, we don't pay the speakers, and the speakers cannot pay us to speak. So, don't do that. It is a forum that has its benefits and it has its value, but you have to commit your time and your own resources to do it.
How do I know if then my message is suitable for TEDx, your TEDx?
There's a couple of things. First, when you find a TEDx, you identify a TEDx, let's say, in your area that you say, oh, that would be an interesting, it's close enough and it's relevant to the work that I do. Then most events have a theme around them. Our theme last year, for example, to give you an example, was just a simple word, unbound. So we were looking for speakers that had, what we called gone unbound, meaning gone beyond their limiting beliefs or tried something that nobody had tried before. In some way or another, they have gone through boundaries and come the other side. So make sure that your idea worth sharing is aligned with the theme of the event.
So
that's the first thing.
Research what the TEDx event is about. What is the theme? And put in your application, how do you fit into that theme? Okay, what else? What else is to know that if their topic is suitable?
Well, ask yourself, be your own devil's advocate, or even before you apply, reach out not just to your best friends, but some of your enemies too, and tell them your idea and ask them, do you think this is an idea worth sharing? Do you think it's relevant? Is there anybody out there already talking about this, and what are they saying? And then lastly is make sure, and again, this is obvious, but make sure that you know why you are an expert to talk about that. Because, we all can talk about a lot of things, but, why are you uniquely positioned to be the voice of that message or the voice of the idea?
I'm so glad you're saying that. So you have to have the credentials to back you up. And actually, in the message of you, that's the first step that I talk about, because everybody has a lot of woo-woo ideas of, that they got from maybe a bumper sticker in traffic. And it's just like, and I'm a life coach. And it's like, well, what are your qualifications? What's your job? Well, I'm homeless, but I really want to talk about prosperity. So it's like, what are your qualifications? That's really good. Now, before we get to the end and we talk about the specifics of how to apply, how to find it on the internet, tell me, what makes a great TED Talk or a great TEDx talk? How just give it to me in a nutshell. How do I be great?
So passion first.
Passion.
Be passionate about what you're talking about. Be relatable. Can that passion be translated into action or inspiration or ways that the audience can digest that passion and enrich their lives and their communities? And 3, just be you. Be honest. Don't try to be this either supermodel on a stage or super successful whatever on a stage. Be who you are. One of the things I say most is, don't go unprepared and say, oh, I'm shaking, I forgot what I say, because that's an extreme. But being there in your most vulnerable way is a great way for the audience to, it's almost what I usually say is you're designing the audience to clap. Because they're holding you in that moment, and they are, they're experiencing what you're experiencing on stage, and it's a higher vibration of passion and wanting to impact the world.
Okay, so you're saying be passionate, be authentic, have emotion. You've said it has to be an idea worth sharing. You have to have a new take. And what about story? So
story is very important, but it's not your talk.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of applications last year, and many applications were like, well, I have a great story to share. Great, but what is the idea? So stories are ways, call it metaphors, applications of the idea that reinforce the idea. So it's the story serves the idea, not the other way around.
And what about also, shouldn't the talk teach something?
Yes. So either teach something or have a clear takeaway, or inspire. There has to be a reason for doing that. Not just, well, if I do this, then I'll raise my fees. There has to be a reason, an intention, a clear intention from the speaker towards the audience. And most speakers that people remember and people take in their pockets, as I say, are speakers that really make that very clear and straightforward at some part or at the end of the talk.
Okay, so what about humor?
You can never go wrong with humor, because humor, what it does is, you know this, I don't have to say this, but it lowers the barriers and allows the audience to really connect and get into that place of receptivity, if you want, to be able to absorb and connect emotionally with the message and the speaker.
Okay, great.
So by all means, humor is huge.
So what makes a great TED or TEDx talk is that, have a message worth sharing, be able to have the credentials to back that message up, use stories to illustrate your message, but your talk is not just a story. Be passionate, teach something and give someone a takeaway, and have humor. Well,
and have fun.
And all of that. Have fun while you're sweating.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of this right now, which is where we are, let's tell exactly how people can land their first TEDx talk specifically. So my first question is, all right, let's say I've gone through the Message of You University. Okay, shameless plug. But I've gone through that. I know what my message is. I know how to give a speech. I know how to position. I'm ready to go. And what's the first step in finding the TEDx talk? How do I search? What is the search?
I know everybody's going to get a handout after this, so with a lot more details. I'm going to just do an overview of the different steps, but I kind of broke it down in 9 steps.
Everybody, click on, there'll be some kind of click on the screen or an email to go to, and then you could download what she's going to be telling you right now. Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you for being generous.
Yeah, so these 9 steps is step number 1, find the right event. So everybody knows TED.com, right? And TED.com, you can click on TEDx and events. So the actual address will be TED.com/TEDx/events, and all this information is in the handout. And then you basically have a world map and go to your city, to your zip code. You can search by zip code, and it will pull up all the events that are planned in your area.
Okay, and I'm going to say right now, because I just realized some people are listening to this and not watching the information we're giving on the screen. So I'm going to say, if you email me at TEDx@themessageofyou.com, that's TEDx@themessageofyou.com, I will give you what she's talking about, the download right now, and you can review all of this and have it right in front of you. So if you're listening to this while you're driving, you don't have to take notes. Okay.
Yeah, and we can send it automatically by email as well.
Great. That's what I'm saying. Well, if they email TEDx@themessageofyou.com, they'll get it. Okay, go ahead. So they go to this website
and find the event, and then don't look for an event that's happening next week. The chances that you're going to make it to that event are like almost impossible. So plan ahead. Look at events that are happening, let's say, 6, 9, 12 months from the day you're searching. And look at those events and look at how big are they, are they in a university, are they public? Look at the audiences you're trying to reach to make sure that they are the events with the audience that you want. Again, look local. The closer you look within your community, the higher chances you are of getting selected. Okay. Then do your research. So now let's say that you went onto the TED.com and TEDx site, and you found, let's say, 5 events that look likely and they're coming up in the next 6 or 9 months. Then go one by one and start researching. Who is the organizing team? What are the themes that they're looking to put together for the event? Do your research. Chances are, if it's a local event, you will either know someone in the organizing team or someone in your network might have a connection with them. To see how you can meet with them. the thing is, you want to be a partner with this team. Again, it's a volunteer team. So the more you bring them a solution, a speaker, an idea worth sharing, then the more you're going to be, you're going to have higher chances of making it in. So again, focus on the theme. Find the theme. Pitch the theme. The other part is be visible. Whether you do it by connecting directly with the organizers or being. If you are passionate, this is something I always say. You, Judy, are passionate about helping people communicate their message, and because of that passion and because of the work you do, you were found and you gave your TEDx talk. Right? You didn't have to do anything. There's something to be said about that. You will be found if you are out there passionate about your message. You're not passionate just to land a TEDx talk. This is bigger than the TEDx. So be visible, be active, be out there sharing your message. And then the other step is, again, clarify your idea. When you're pitching, don't pitch a story, don't pitch a message in general. Pitch an idea, one idea, because 18 minutes only gives room to one idea. Pick the best of your ideas and go with that one. Then when you're applying, it's important to make, again, the organizer's life easy and include as much information as you can, including a video. Whether it's a video that you have from a previous event that showcases you talking about that idea and showing how you work on stage, or you create a specific video for the application. Either way, just include a video where they can experience you as a speaker. I think that covered the 9. I didn't count. I lost count.
Okay, well, let me just summarize here. So
yeah,
first of all,
I know what was the
one
next
more
step. Apply.
Oh yeah, duh. Take that joint out of your mouth and actually apply. Thank you. That's a good one. So just to sum up, and is that first of all, you got to find the right event and email me at TEDx@themessageofyou.com. Plan ahead, right? Don't apply last minute. How many people did you have applied to your TEDx event, Dolores?
Over 150 applications.
And how many did you take?
We ended up taking 17, which was more than we wanted, but 17.
17. So. Okay. Well, the odds are better than Lotto. And then look local. You're better if you look local. Research what is their theme, and then focus on that theme. And then live your message, walk your message, be visible was what you said. Clarify your idea so you can express it really clearly. And then it's great to have a short video to go along with your application, and then press send, right?
Yes.
Submit your application.
Yeah. And at some point, stop going around in circles and just do it.
Now, can you tell me what's your website that people can find you if they have any other questions or if they're interested in your coaching or some of your work?
Yes, it's doloreshirschman.com, and it's very hard to spell, but we'll send it in the email, but it's DOLORESHIRSCHMANN.com.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dolores, and thank all of you for listening and having an idea and wanting to share that idea, because it's about getting out of our own way and speaking it, and let's all create a ripple effect of inspiration. Please join me at Judy Carter. I'm Judy Carter, and themessageofyou.com, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.